Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching You, Season 4, Episode 3.
Eat the Rich. Things are not looking good for old Joe Goldberg.
Jonathan Moore.
Jonathan Moore. Yeah, this was like the funeral episode. They're like anticipating, or like everybody's saying that it's like an Eat the Rich type of killer because Malcolm and Simon were both murdered, and they're like in connection.
Basically the people know that Malcolm was murdered because whoever is stalking Joe sent the finger and was clear. It was like, this is not a kidnapping, it's a murder. And then instructed him to kill Phoebe? Or Kate?
Yeah.
Phoebe. Oh, Phoebe. Yeah. Kill Kate, and he refuses. So he spent the day following her, protecting her.
Also, I love that they left the wake to fuck in the garden, and then
she went to a bar.
She did go to a bar,
and he relentlessly it worked for her.
I can't wait until we get a moment from. I mean, we never would. He's not anywhere near self-aware enough. But I just feel I have tasted my own medicine, and it is bitter because he's being stalked and like toyed with. But yeah, then they did go to the garden and banged one out of grief. And then I guess a night passed.
Mm-hmm.
But then she went back to the exact same church to like have a talk with Malcolm
that she conveniently had out loud.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. This was a really good episode, but I don't really know how to go about recapping it.
It's hard to know how to talk about it.
Yeah, like things progress, but I'm in more of a like, and now what? And so basically, everyone's a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
I can't decide whether or not I think Nadia, she of course is a suspect, but I can't decide whether or not I actually think that she's doing it, because he earlier in the episode, he found her after the news had broken proper that Malcolm was dead. He found her sniffing around his apartment because she wanted to get in because she had written him a note, and they
that she shouldn't have.
Well, I was about to say, did they actually say the words affair? Or, because that's what...
We're all just assuming.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Kate knows that he was fucking around behind her back, which is whatever. But I guess we don't have full confirmation that he was fucking Nadia, specifically.
But that's the implication.
That is definitely the implication.
That seems what it is. And Nadia desperately doesn't want it to be found, because then it would be news, and then she would potentially not have a career, which sometimes I find that motive to be like, meh, but I think absolutely.
So it depends, because I just watched all of them. So I remember in season 2 where like they had Delilah, like Joe found all of the photos that Chris Delia had.
Wow.
And gave them to Delilah so she could like break the story. But then she was like, well, I can't do it because he has photos of me too. So my credibility would be immediately marked down, which I agree with. But then they were going to give the photos to someone else. And instead, Ellie was like, why though? Because then every time anyone Googles any of these girls, this will come up. And I was like, kind of, except for like, you need to do that anyway. And so I'm sort of like, I don't think having an affair with your professor is...
No, I think it would be on the news. Like, I think they'd talk about it.
You think? I mean, England is the fucking wild west about like paparazzi and shit like that, like dirty tabloid shit. But
there's a paparazzi lady.
Yeah.
That they have shown. And so the issue for me is, it's not that I can't believe that this same paparazzi lady would be at both these events. I can't believe the show made a production of
There's been a woman named Dawn listed in every single episode, and I think that's her.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's it. So presumably she's going to come to mean something.
Yeah. Twice she was prominently featured.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't quite a neon sign pointing at her.
No, but there is, though, also a neon sign pointed at fucking Edward. Nadia and Edward from the class. I just, like, he is, like, way too combative.
Maybe
like,
this is like a Skull and Bones situation.
We are just, like, throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks.
We're just having fun. he did properly sleep with Kate. She hates him again. Maybe, I have no idea. Because then she put on the show of burning the portrait for him. And yes, you brought up a good point that she did need to open the windows because of the fire. But given her blunt nature, it just felt very performative that she went and threw open the curtains to burn this portrait directly in front of... It's like in Friends when Ross is pretending to watch TV.
Yeah.
But he's really pantomiming for them.
He's got the jack-o'-lantern dressed up like Ben,
Like, that's what Kate's giving me.
I get it.
And he was confronted by Vic earlier at, I guess, the post-funeral.
At the wake, yeah.
Yeah. And Vic read him up, down, and for filth in the trash.
Yeah, he just is like, though, I don't know. I mean, I am not on Joe's side because he's literally the worst.
That's the hardest part about this show.
But it is sort of like, dude, but like, because we obviously have the insider information, we're like, we know that Joe didn't do it. So it's very hard to like give Vic the benefit of the doubt. Like, yes, obviously, all of the evidence is pointing to Joe.
Joe didn't do it, but also Vic is right, though.
Yeah.
That he is just a red flag factory.
Yeah. He is, for sure.
And so Vic was, show my hand, very devoted to Lady Phoebe.
Yeah.
Because he's worked with her for a while and she treated him like family and she's apparently sweet and generous and that leaves her to bring in waifs and
strays. Yeah.
And so he followed Joe and Kate around. And then after Kate, again, performed that monologue, as far as she knew, alone.
Yeah.
To the...
Malcolm.
But it's called something.
Like an urn, kind of.
Sure.
Columbarium. How deep do you want me to get here?
I just, like, I don't know. I can't... I'm suspicious of several people. I can't show my work yet. But
yeah, no, totally.
She couldn't not know that he was lurking around.
Well, I don't know. When you go visit someone's grave, you speak out loud.
I mean, you can.
That is, okay, I don't believe that they're in there, but that is what TV presents to us.
No, it's because it's TV.
Is
and we
that
need
you
to be able
speak
to know,
out loud to graves.
Because the audience needs to know what they're thinking. And they're not going to do a voiceover.
They could do a voice. This whole fucking show is
from
voiceover.
Joe's perspective, not from Kate's.
Okay, fine.
So anyway, so Vic, like, karate chops out of the shadows and was like, gotcha!
He was very sexually holding him down on that table as well.
I want to know what Vic's in-game was. He's going to call Phoebe.
Well, okay, here's the thing about Joe, and here is why I accept Vic's, like, suspicion of him, is he's very new to this group. The minute he gets invited into the inner circle, they're dropping like flies. And then he has Malcolm, like that guy that ran into him at the funeral put Malcolm's ring in his pocket, is what we're assuming. And so then he has Malcolm's ring that was on the finger that got chopped off and sent to Scotland Yard. And so Vic has a pretty airtight case, if we're like being honest. And so I don't know. That I think was his end game, is just like catch the guy who's killing Lady Phoebe's friends. But I don't know. Also, Joe's been spoken to by the cops. One of whom was Bonnie Prince Charlie from Outlander. So we've got 3 Outlander people so far.
Well, I was gonna say that Joe did kill Vic.
Yes.
And his penis was very soft. Canonically.
Yeah, he said.
Extremely.
I feel like he doth protest too much. I feel like he was a little hard.
No.
No, of course not. He only gets hard when he kills women.
Even then, it's for the tears he gets to cry. It's for himself.
Got a real tear fetish.
For the lament.
Yeah.
And then he buried Vic
in Simon's grave.
On top of it, too.
Yeah.
On top of it. I don't know. This is now twice that he's just traipsed about London with a corpse-shaped object.
Well, to be fair, he only traipsed out back of the church.
So he just
dragged him.
Twiddled his thumbs until
out the
night.
room. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I mean, we don't know how much time elapsed between the garden sex and the waking up in
but
Kate's
even with
apartment.
the garden sex, Kate was like, the thrill of it is the potential of someone seeing. So even though it was kind of
private,
let's go with it was obscured.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been. And that's just, I'm sort of like how I keep waiting for the camera to pan back and for like half of London to just be watching. With like cucumber sandwiches. Like
interesting American technique.
Yeah. So he's still playing cat. I don't know what to call the person that's blackmailing him. You?
Yeah.
He's still playing, because that's what he's calling the person. So he's still playing cat and mouse with you, and he went ahead and decided to start telling you what he like
wanted to hear. Yeah.
So he told him that his dick was really hard when it was in fact soft.
And then he was like, as long as you leave Kate alone, I'll do whatever. And he was like, we'll meet soon. Rold was also making moves on Kate a little at the funeral. And Reese did a eulogy.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget Reese. Yeah, Rold was giving me... But then you kind of pointed out that you think they're all just kind of
this
like...
is a very incestuous upper echelons of London's rich society.
It is British, sort of like...
I just feel like they're
you're
all...
a plumber. What on earth is that?
I feel like they all knew about Malcolm's piercing too, which on the one hand, obviously he would not shut up about it. But on the other hand,
like an old friend.
I feel like they've also all seen it intimately.
Yeah.
So
okay, Sophie looked amazing at the funeral.
This.
And Blessing is not willing to compromise her silhouette with
to wear a bulletproof vest. Also, I'm not sure why Phoebe was like, bulletproof vests, none of them have been shot.
Just protection.
Well,
Phoebe is renowned for her smarts.
That's true.
So Gemma remains the best.
And then she's fucking awful, but like hilarious. And then Phoebe texted Joe that she needs him and to like meet at Sundry House, and then when he gets there, it is like
it was presented like an intervention.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily what it is.
But all of them were like just standing there waiting, and the cops too, the detectives as well. So I'm very curious what's gonna happen next.
I am too. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and watch and Venmo and Twitter, Instagram.
Head over to the Patreon if you want to watch along with us at the $3 tier.
Watchers.